as I may conclude that homework should be banned at Prairie Point because it creates ineffective practice, causes stress and exhaustion, and students have less time for fun activities and fun time. But what about the teachers? They're all around you. I mean, think about it. Teachers are the ones who assign homework in the first place. I mean, students don't just choose to have their own homework, do they? At least teach us something, let alone give us a homework assignment that probably won't be graded in the long run. Teachers shouldn't just leave students to go read something on the internet because we all know you are going to have at least that one student who will either go play a computer game, read their email, or just do something unproductive and off topic. Phil Raines, a high school social studies teacher, he noticed that homework contributes to a situation where students see learning as just an unpleasant means to an end. Homework typically consists of tasks that are time-consuming, dreary, uninspiring, and serve only to kill whatever motivation remains in students. Raines says, interestingly, he confesses having assigned a lot of homework at the beginning of his career as a crutch to compensate for poor lessons. But as he mastered the material, homework ceased to be unnecessary, and he assigned less and less as the years went by. Today, he assigns absolutely none at all, zero, zip, even to his own AP classes. This shows that homework is not the #1 priority for students and takes interest out of learning in the classroom. At the end of the day, students are either exhausted, tired, or just flat out stressed from a day's work at school. Then that kid staying for an after-school sport, driving across town for maybe a flute private lesson, or some type of academic, getting a bite to eat, changing, and off to another sport at least by 8 o'clock, having to get home, take a shower, and in bed by 9 o'clock. And you still have homework on top of that? I don't think so. With this day and age, you will never see that sheet of homework back in the classroom. Besides, if you do, it's a waste of teachers' pen ink and their precious time they say they don't have. So instead of your homework eating up your brain like it's a late time snack, it's time to say goodbye to homework and hello to reality.
Another point my opponent has said is homework can encourage cheating because children end up copying off one another in an attempt to finish all their assignments. But I disagree because homework is an assigned way of studying or reviewing what you've learned, which is given to help students, and if they choose to not complete it or copy off of someone else's, it's their consequence and only affects the student. If they choose to copy and their test score is lower than they wanted, they can learn from that experience and continuing to do it. Many students know that when the test comes and they realize they never did their homework, which would have helped them to review, they'll know next time to study. Therefore, homework should not be banned. And as I stated before, school not only prepares us for the real world, but college. And one of the main things colleges want in a student is to manage your time and be responsible enough to bring and do any work anytime you possibly can. Homework won't be longer than an hour, and there will always be small increments of time to do it throughout the day. The whole point of school is preparing us for the real world, and the real world consists of time management. Therefore, homework should stay at Prairie Point and not be banned.
That teachers don't have time to grade homework, but I disagree because they are providing homework because they know the benefits it provides. Homework can be a burden, but why get rid of it when it has a plethora of advantages? In our opening statement, we discussed how homework and test scores had an obvious correlation, and without it, there would be a significant amount of differences. Meaning, if we were to ban homework, as my opponents want, not only would test scores be down, but those who aren't doing well will want to give up and not try at all. Our school district would not only be in a lower percentile, but we would be putting stress on the teachers who need to teach and seem as if they're not doing their job well. We also stated that homework creates a special bond between their guardian or whoever is helping them with their homework. This means that homework can bring family members closer together. Having a parent or guardian being there for a child is very necessary for being successful. Dean Willard says that 70% of children that have blended families or one parent do not do as well academically compared to children with normal families. Earlier stated on also, doing homework prepares students for after they graduate high school and are going into college. By doing homework now and throughout high school, you're being prepared for all the work you will receive in college and at your job based on what you do. If we ban homework, it would be harder for students to even get into college. Homework has been doing people favors for centuries. Why should we ban it when we've had so much success? Homework should not be taken away because it's teaching children how to be responsible. As kids get older, they want more freedom and less control from their parents. But this also comes along with responsibilities. According to the American Academy of Pediatricians, homework for children has a number of purposes. It provides an opportunity for review and reinforcement of skills that have been mastered. Homework also is an opportunity for children to learn self-discipline, organizational skills, and to take responsibility for their own learning. Homework encourages students to self-evaluate and reflect on the learning. This proves that homework not only helps students, but it also helps parents. The teachers are helping students prepare for the future. What's better than that? Having students do extra work should not be a huge deal. Most kids need the extra practice as it is. Having students do homework now will help them as they get in high school and if they choose to go to college. According to Dominic Grieco, one thing that teaches lessons of accountability, responsibility, diligence, and appreciation for knowledge is homework. Every student has to do it, and for most kids, it is a necessity in order to do well in school. This not only proves that homework is beneficial for teaching responsibility, but also proves that homework has multiple benefits for the future. When parents send their kids off to school, they just want them to be successful and happy. Their success rates will go down without homework. Monica Fuji states that regular accomplishments like finishing homework build self-esteem, which aids students' mental and physical health. Responsibility and time management are highly desirable qualities that benefit students long after they graduate. This proves that having homework does have a benefit at some point in your life. This also proves that homework does make a child responsible. The more they are responsible, the better success they'll have. Most kids would think, if there are so many cons outweigh the pros, why don't we just stop giving homework? The truth is, it would take a lot longer to learn new topics if we didn't have homework. Would you rather have homework a few times a week or year-round school?
My opponent may have said that homework gives teachers more time to work with their students in school, but that's not even close to a good thing. Think about the kids for a minute. They go to school, and their teacher teaches them a few things and assigns an hour of homework. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Wrong. That homework not only takes away free time, but it basically represents a second shift of school. Students go to school, learn, go home, and are expected to keep learning rather than spend time with friends and family. Doesn't that just seem wrong? That isn't the end of it. Said student goes back to school, weary after doing so much homework that they haven't done. But guess what? They just learned more things because they supposedly learned everything last night. And then, after learning a ton of new things, they get more homework, which teaches them more things at home. Basically, the whole idea of more class time creates an endless cycle of exhaustion, stress, and worry. What loving parent would ever wish that upon their growing child? 38% of parents have said that their student is getting more homework than they did as a kid. This is a growing problem for new generations. Is that how you want someone to experience the beginning of their life ahead of them? Constant stress and exhaustion? I would hope not. Homework, although it gives more class time, does so at the cost of a student's free time. That is definitely not a good trade-off. My opponent might have said that homework helps students master new skills, and they are right, but only if the student actually does the homework like it's supposed to be done. A quote from Stop Homework, a website devoted to its cause, says, according to a survey done at a high school in Maryland, 475 out of 500 students surveyed said they copied each other's homework. That is 95% of students surveyed. Can anybody, no matter what evidence has been found, say that people learn new things if they copy off homework? When someone copies something, they usually just write it down. They don't think about it. They don't store that knowledge for later use. They just want to get it done as fast as they can. It is safe to assume that most students just get to school, grab their smart friend's homework, and write it down. The teacher will never be the wiser. This is more common than you would think, 95% to be precise. 95% of students don't learn anything from their homework. They write it down and they forget it. Therefore, homework does not help students master new skills.